Hello everybody, welcome back to another Path of Exile tutorial video. Today, we're going to be doing something of a showcase, trying out a new strategy that was recently brought to my attention with a little bit of my own twist. The strategy in question is going to be farming fractured items using tier 17 maps, such as the Ziggurat map and the Imbued Anarchy map device. This is of course gained by using a Horned Scarab of Awakening. At present these are fairly expensive, however it is the only real way to get the imbued options on your map device. The Horned Scarab of Awakening using the Imbued Anarchy mod causes you to have 3 additional Rogue Exiles in your map, and all Rogue Exiles in your map, whether they be from this or other sources, will have a 20% chance that all items they drop will be fractured. The wording on this one is in fact wrong. It says that items have a 20% chance to be fractured. However, in reality, it is merely the exile itself, all or nothing, 20% chance to drop fractured. This will cause some rogue exiles to explode in a big loot pinata of nothing but fractured items. Now, to that end, most people run this strategy with the Anarchy Scarabs, which will grant you an additional 4 Rogue Exiles to your map. This can be pretty good, as you can run an additional 3 of them for 12 Rogue Exiles, alongside your Titanic Scarab, more on that in a minute, and your Horned Scarab of Awakening. However, there is in fact another, more beneficial way to do this, and that is by using Strongboxes. Strongboxes have the ability to roll a mod on them, that is, Strongbox is guarded by a Rogue Exile. This has the benefit of having the Rogue Exile be trapped in the Strongbox until you are ready to face it, usually after you have cleared the rest of the map, picked up all of the altars and things like that, and because the Ambush Scarab gives 5 Strongboxes, you get 5 Rogue Exiles per map. The downside of this is in order to get the Rogue Exiles on your map, you do need to roll your Strongboxes for it, and not have the node on your tree that forces a Strongbox to be corrupted and rare. Now, additionally, we get one more Strongbox on our map, courtesy of Twice Tempted, and, best of all, occasionally your Strongbox can be opened an additional time. This is equivalent to 16% more Rogue Exiles in your map. It's not the biggest thing, but it matters, especially if you get one that opens multiple times. I have had some Strongbox open 5 or so times, and that is 5 additional Rogue Exiles. Now, the reason why this strategy will work so well is, of course, the Rogue Exiles, which have a large percent increased quantity and rarity of items dropped, as well as being possessed by a Tormented Spirit, which will also give them a large increase to difficulty and rewards. And finally, we have the Titanic Scarab. The Titanic Scarab, of course, gives a 100% increased toughness, damage, rarity, and quantity multiplier to the Rogue Exiles as long as the map has at least 50% to pack size. We are doing this on a tier 17 map because unique monsters in tier 17 maps drop item level 86 items. Therefore, we can drop certain bases, such as tier 1 spell suppression chest pieces that can be fractured, giving us a very high return on our items if we're lucky. Now, I will also note that unfortunately my version of doing this is a little bit slower than some other people's versions because I cannot give up my chest for the magic items drop identified chest piece. I am using the Cloak of Flame and this is not negotiable. So instead, I have to take a stack of Scroll Wisdoms with me so that I can identify each and every item dropped on the ground instead of using a loot filter plus that chest to automatically do it for me. It's a minor inconvenience. However, if your build is capable of using the new chest piece or using the chest piece combination, you don't have to do this and it will be faster for you. So, with that said, we're going to go ahead and go into our first map. I believe I've covered most of the basics. Oh, before that, allow me to show you the Atlas tree real quick. I have all of the nodes that give maps and give an increased chance of dropping high level maps. This is just a little side thing. You can do this strategy in a tier 16 map. I, in fact, even encourage you to do it in a tier 16 map if your build is weaker. And with these nodes, you will then drop tier 17s, which can be sold for around half a divine or so, all the way up to a divine, depending on the league. I have +1 Rogue Exile, +1 Strongbox. Again, chance to open Strongboxes, blue altars, as these show up very frequently in my maps, divination card duplication and currency duplication from Strongboxes, along with the increased chance to have these. This is a little extra money, and sometimes, like earlier today, you can get double Sephiroth and Divine Beauty, especially from Diviner Strongboxes that show up or open multiple times. I, of course, have the quantity and rarity outer wheel, but I skip the inner wheel as I do not have the extra points at current to take it. I have the best types of scarabs as showing up more likely, and then all of the explicit modifier upgrades on the tree that I can get. The one Rogue Exile wheel here, which is basically free, gives a chance to have 20 additional Rogue Exiles in my map. Possession, I do skip the other, and I skip the notable here because this adds a lot of difficulty for not a lot of rewards. As for gear, it is very important that you have a ring or other piece of gear, but most likely a ring that has reduced rarity of items found. This is very important as a multiplier so that items that are dropped drop as magic and not as rare, but also you want to make sure they don't drop as normal because then they can't have fractured mods at all. If an item is magic and it drops and it's a high level drop, it has a better chance that the item is going to have a powerful fracture and is very good for when you are running the chest that automatically identifies your items. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get this show going and give it a try. This ring also will help to combat the effects of altars that you pick up. That will give increased item quantity and rarity by basically only giving you the increased item quantity. So we've got our Imbued Anarchy, our Temple, which we did put 1 Delirium Orb on just for good measure, and here we go. Now my build, unfortunately, is very slow to get started, and requires me to actually kill a monster. Well, there's some luck. It requires me to kill a monster, and then I can get going and everything around me will just explode. These unique strong boxes unfortunately cannot be re-rolled, so we just go ahead and open them and let them be completed like that. Let's see. Nearby enemies gain Fizz extra. We'll come back to that. We will probably come back to our map multiple times to pick up altars and make sure that we don't take stuff that will get us killed. Our build is extremely tanky, especially against small shotgun attacks like the lightning orbs or things of that nature. However, we do die to very large slams, and we have a hard time dealing with extremely powerful damage over time effects. We are immune to bleeding and corrupted blood, as well as ignite. However, we are only immune to poison so long as our flask is up. This can get us killed, and in fact has gotten me killed in the past. Additionally, I am not immune to shock, so if I do die in here, there's a good chance it was from a big slam that also had a shock mod on it. I do not know if I can do the, I am dying to a damage over time effect. I do not know if I can do the boss at present, so I'm actually just going to straight up skip the boss for now, because I'm more interested in the strong boxes and the rewards for this video. Well, case in point, deaths do happen. I suppose while I'm merely running around, I will just stick with my regular ring. And then I can switch when I go to fight the Rogue Exiles. The downside is... Ooh, hey. The downside is that, of course, any Rogue Exiles we encounter in the map itself will not have the rarity modified on them. This strategy also rewards a very large amount of gold, so it can be very good for people who have not yet finished maxing out their King's March or that have really high gold per hour costs for King's March. Okay. We have cleared out a significant amount of the map, so I think we're going to go ahead and start doing a couple of these strong boxes. We'll just go ahead and clear out a little bit more of this area here.
Collect another.
Speaking of, there's one of the explosions that I was talking about. Now, unfortunately, I've already lost 2 portals because of not being standing still. I need to be standing still to have full use of a lot of my defenses. So we're going to go ahead and activate some of these strong boxes and see how it goes. Oh, hello. Wait, was that a... Yeah, I don't really want to risk it. So, first things first, we're going to go ahead and identify these strong boxes. I don't see any that say guarded by Rogue Exile. Oh, nothing there. Anarchy Scarabs. I think what we'll go ahead and do is we'll just waste a few chaos so we can get this going a little bit faster for the video. I wish I had a way to put an on-screen thing that would watch for Rogue Exile. There we are. Here's one. And there's 2. Okay, so we'll go ahead and just start with this first one here and see if we get lucky. Looks like we didn't, so now we'll do this one. Looks like we still didn't. Here are our next strong box. Oh, some sort of damage over time effect there. Once again. Yeah, you know what? We don't mind that. Also, we're going to go ahead and check real quick and see. Looks like we got a fair bit of magic, which is good. So we may not have to change our ring to the reduced rarity ring at all. Yeah, why not? Alright. So that should be proof for any of you who don't know that you can do this with the map. And as you can see, they dropped a fat stack of fractured items. We are going to unfortunately not be able to carry all of these out, so I think what we'll do is we'll only pick up a few of them to identify, and we'll just drop on the ground the bad ones, like that. A tier 2 accuracy rating spine bow fracture. Interesting. It's not a very good life roll. Prod speed. I actually don't know if that's any good. We will, of course, come back at the end of the video once it's all done and check out some of the rest of these fractures, but for the sake of all of you, we will only do a few. Yeah, we're not touching that one just because of the risk. Oh. Huh. Apparently that killed me. Alright, well, good time to drop off all the junk, I suppose. Make use of these for something different. Ooh, there's a strong box right here. Duping maps, yeah, we don't care about that. Nope. Unlucky. No duplicate openings. Some more good rewards. Cluster tools. Just free money putting a... Oop. It's a damage over time effect on the ground or something. Not really sure what's killing me there, but some sort of dot effect on the ground. Because I'm immune to all the ailments, so... Don't know. Something something death recap when. Alright, just go ahead and kill that guy off. And loads. Perfect. Oh, okay. It's the boiling blood. Okay. I thought I was immune to that, but that's actually a trail of blood on the ground, so that would explain a lot. Flask charge on crit. Fractured. Okay. So many fractured items. Just look at all of this. So many. I might try and find a way to fit that item, that chest piece in that allows me to do this without identifying. Oh, here you go. Tier 1 wife, or Tier 1 max roll damage taken recoup on a iolite ring. That can be useful to a lot of builds. The Death Oath builds, for instance. It's only Tier 2 cold. So hopefully you all can see how this can be a very profitable method for making money, for farming fractured items. This is particularly good if you're in like Soul Self-Found, because it can give you bases that you need for crafting. Funny. Huh. Ye old soul mantle. Well, sometimes you're not lucky. Huh. There we go. This guy is not going to die, is he? Alright, well, this is why we have Wall Breach. When in doubt, Wall Breach. Okay, we didn't get any. That's alright. Oh, hey. It's an Esh. Let's see. Near Strongbox is up here. Alright. You do need to have a fairly strong build in order to just ignore monsters like that. But if you do, it can be very... Oh, hey. Double Strongbox. Triple Strongbox. Oh, only triple. And no fractured. So that was 3 Rogue Exiles. That is almost as good as a whole Scarab by itself. This might hurt because of the Ice Nova, but thankfully it didn't. Okay. Looks like we did not actually get lucky on this one. Nice. Okay. We killed him. Got a second opening, so that's 4 free strong boxes so far that we've had. Which is 4 Rogue Exiles, so that's as if we had a whole entire extra Scarab on our map. Alright, now I think what I will do is I will complete this map, and then I'll go through, I'll grab all the items, price check everything, and in a follow-up short video, I will post the inventory that I gained so that you all can see what rewards, if any, that I got from this map that were worthwhile. Again, this strategy is not one where you're just blasting through maps really quickly. It does require to use a Scarab that costs about a Divine at the time of this video. So you really got to make sure that you get a fair amount of rewards out of it. Now, of course, I got a puzzle box here, which is worth a Divine just by itself, plus I got a raw Divine drop, plus I got several fractures that I know are between 20 and 50 chaos, so I definitely already made back the money invested, but that's not why you're here. You're here to make lots of money. So, with that, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and like I said, I will post either a loot screen grab in the comments of this video with the loot, or a second short follow-up video which I show the stash tabs full of items I gained from this adventure.
Select another.
Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.